Ladies and gentlemen of Flow State Activation, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sumet Chatterjee, Flow State Specialist here. Today I'm here to talk about one of the secrets of transformation that has been missing in culture. And this is a mix of esotericism and hyperscience, but I think it's a very, very unique magical paradigm and perspective that we can use in order to transform ourselves. You know, it was Stephen Kotler who said that creativity is old ideas with new insight. And once we start to understand that we can look at an issue or a situation and look at the past patterns behind it, it can actually change our worldview. So there's something called the Morphic field theory, okay? This theory states that whenever a new event occurs in the universe, it predisposes subsequent similar events to occur in the same way ubiquitously across time and space. This is done by the agency of something called a morphic field. So you create a morphic field around that particular experience that you're going through. We're not really exploring why the event has happened, but the fact that it's generated a morphic field makes it more likely for that event to occur again. This is why we have, different habits and so forth. Also provides the rationale for a lot of magic. Clairvoyance is a person tapping into the morphic field to the distant or recent past. And through seeing the morphic field patterns, then recognizing that there might be a potentiality for the future, a prophecy being generated. So all these gods, demons, entities, whatever you imagine in this world, all the fantasy, any energy you can tap into based on its morphic field. Morphic fields can be left from your thoughts of humans and animals, okay? So if imagining a specific event is enough to generate a morphic field, that could explain the power of visualization too. Each species of the living being has its own type of psychic form or magical essence. These egregores, or thought forms as you call them, may be felt as a presence or as a glimpse. The human egregore, usually people perceive that as God, or thoughts of the higher self. Communion with the morphic field of beasts is very important to the shaman, otherwise they couldn't practice their shamanism. This actually allows the human to have way more power over that species. Everything we perceive is real. Anything we cannot perceive cannot exist. Anything that comes into our perception was not will, but a failed wish. Anything that we will that does not come into our perception was not willed, it was a failed wish. The will and the perception are the same thing. What happens when we go inwards, we collect these different apertures or lenses or perceptions together. You need to have the belief to also strengthen the morphic field. You might have seen certain subliminal creators who create morphic tones or morphic frequencies. In the same way, that field is generated from the past, from all the morphic fields associated with that event or that feeling or that essence. Let's say that someone got punched in the face. That creates a morphic field or resonance based on every time anybody ever got punched in the face. Okay, there is a similar frequency being activated. Really start to understand that morphic fields or morphic resonance can change a certain situation around very, very quickly. And it's based on our will and our perception, which are one of the same. There are oftentimes subconscious or hidden blocks for people that prevent people from doing something. So last night I had channeled King Kurbo, okay, who's the shadow fairy king of the Fae. And basically we learned from Kurbo one of the greatest secrets, okay, around this thing, which is really, we've got to take control of our subconscious gatekeepers. We've got to take control of our subconscious security guard, because that is what is keeping our reality stuck in a very specific way. It's all due to that gatekeeper. Once we can take power and domesticate that gatekeeper, make it our own so the conscious mind can override the subconscious, now we have a beautiful flux of manifestation and a world that can actually start to permeate and glow again, okay? That's what we learned last night. Now, the understanding of how we apply this tech is going to be very unique and very exciting for us. As you might be slowly noticing, my look is changing, my feeling is changing, and you understand that's also due to a morphic resonance. In a sense, if you really understand this, beauty in itself is a morphic resonance. So think about the morphic field of beauty around people who are highly aesthetic or highly beautiful, like models or like people who, make money off of their looks. There is a morphic field, right? A morphic resonance that's left behind through all of the models across all of time. Now, this can be problematic too, because what if now there are specific generalizations, right? Or specifications designed towards a specific field? Like, then we have the thought form of like, oh, the starving artist, they're not going to make that much money, it's more risky, and therefore, maybe I'll stay away from it. That's from the morphic field, you see, of the people who've tried it and not done it, and so forth. So actually, you, by taking action on something, you're adding to the lineage or the continuation of a specific kind of morphic field of resonance. And that's the morphic field theory. As far as I understand it, is a mad scientist, okay? I really wanted to speak to you guys today about how you can basically model somebody's behavior, and the visualization I'm going to give you here is very, very key and very, very powerful, okay? So what I want you to understand here is something called the Rykov method, or the Rykov effect, okay? You might understand this visualization as you taking on somebody else's perception. So think of a celebrity that you want to be like, or a role model, or it could be a mythical character, it could be a cartoon, it could be someone that you admire in your real life. Whoever it is, just think of somebody, okay? And we're going to run through this visualization. First of all, you want to get yourself into a theta wave, okay? So get yourself very into a trance-like state where you can actually experience these great emotions and feelings around this. Basically, you're imagining that you're talking to them, and then you just take off their head like a helmet. You just take off their face and you put their head over your head like a mask. You're covering their head over your head like a mask, okay? And basically, you're now peering through their eyes to see the world through their eyes. But also, their brain is fusing with yours, so all of their memories are fusing with your memories. Isn't this Rykov method, right, and this is my theory as well, associated with the morphic field? Because essentially what you're doing is you're embodying or adopting or feeling into this particular person or character's morphic field. So this is one of the secrets of transformation that I'm sharing with you, and you're just learning it through a YouTube video. Think how powerful our not free content is, okay? Our video vault of all these channeled material that's coming, okay? So start to understand that there's very, very powerful tech for you to use here that could completely shift you around and make you feel greater, okay? But you've got to really believe in this and believe in you, because again, if you don't believe in it, you're actually changing the morphic field, right? That's why, some subliminals don't work for people. It's your own belief that creates that ripple effect. And it's all about the ripples. I don't know about you, but 90% of my life is about creating these ripples, creating this positive ripple effect. And that's the thing, it's been serving me for fucking forever, right? And I don't need to force anything or try to, manipulate that information, but simply let it change me and let it make me into who I am. So after that hypnosis or that visualization is over, of the Rykov method, what you can then do is try adopting, once you're walking through a park or somewhere, imagine that you still have that helmet on your head, right? And you're walking through there. And that's immediately going to change that frequency. What they do in the Rykov method, which is very, very powerful, is they anchor you with that feeling. So it could be like this, it could be 3 pats on the back, okay? It could be some anchor that you create for yourself. So once you're in that heightened state, let's say you're trying to be Daniel Craig or something like that, right? And in that, after that visualization, when your consciousness and Daniel Craig's consciousness is merged into one, a complete soup of oneness, okay, between your ideas and thought forms and Daniel Craig, okay? Now you're peering through the world through their eyes. In that heightened peak performance state, you gotta anchor it really quickly, okay? I mean, it could be whatever. It could be symbolic, like a mudra. It could be a clap of the hands. Clap is too easy because we always clap, right? So you might be in an audience somewhere, like watching an opera performance and clapping and feeling like Daniel Craig. I mean, if you want to do that, go for it. But I don't think that's the most ideal situation. Make it something a little bit complex and a little bit more specific, so you know that this is for this anchor is for this anchor is for that. Once you figure out the different anchors, you can then try to stack those to try to create a specific kind of outcome. You see, NLP, or neuro-linguistic programming, I believe, is actually a magical tech, okay? I think it uses some of those same principles, the morphic field and modeling after somebody's behavior and so forth. They understand this, okay? So now you are going to have to understand this. If you want to change yourself, you got to understand how you're going to change your perception of yourself, okay? Next month, we already got a theme from King of Kerbo. He said it's main character May that's coming up. Main character May means we got a lot of golden shadow work to do still, okay? We gotta keep repping it and putting it out there. Let's get it today. For Spiral Gang, may we never be the same again. Let's get it. See you guys soon.